So we're looking at a new BMW crossover electric car. And it doesn't have bicycle tires.
Oh,
Yeah, like the i3. So this is called the iX3. So it's actually the exact same car as the new BMW X3, except they ripped out all the combustion guts and put in all the stuff you need to battery operate it, which is an interesting strategy.
I was really hoping for the skinny tires, so there'd be more skinny tires on the market for the i3s.
It'll be more successful than the i3, I believe, but it's so far we haven't seen one conversion car that really takes the market by fire. And there's a chance here because the BMW is a status car and they drive.
Oh no, I mean it's just so boring and ugly. Sorry.
The conversion cars, when they're not purpose-built to be electric, they don't tend to get that great of range. The extra weight means they usually don't handle very well. I hope that this time it's better, but yeah, like you said, the conversions just don't have a good history.
Yeah, but so the person who wrote this article over at Inside EVs was lamenting. It's like, why didn't you put it on an economy car? Why didn't you put it on the luxury car? Why did you do this thing in the middle? And he pointed out that you'll have to look really closely to see anything different between it and the gas car unless you hear them go by you. Go ahead, Russell.
No, I know the answers to these questions.
Tell us.
Because at the BMW Performance Centers, one of the cars I drove was the X3. So the deal with the X3 is it has the lowest ground clearance. The other ones have higher ground clearance. In fact, they're actually made for some kind of off-roading.
Off-road.
The X3, no, it's not made for off-roading. The X3 actually handles surprisingly well for that SUV form factor. Now, add in a battery pack slapped in the base, that thing probably handles really, really well. I think the rest of the points about not, being a gas car, not being designed as an EV, there's a lot of inefficiencies there that could be improved upon probably.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily, at least in this specific case, a horrible choice. We'll have to see.
So they picked the tall car rather than an SUV, a real SUV. That's a good idea. Because
everybody wants that form factor.
Well, it's all. I mean, you look at Ford and GM; they canceled all their cars.
Yeah.
So the tall car is all that this country wants. So it wasn't a bad choice. And like you said, if it's already got the ground clearance and it wasn't built to go off road, not a bad base to pick from if you're not going to go clean slate.
Absolutely.
But,
so sorry. I was going to say the Inside EVs article, I don't see a price.
I didn't see a price either.
It's free.
So
yeah.
So I went to BMW USA.
Can't afford it.
Yeah, and it does say that it's free. You just have to swing by and pick it up. Literally, that's it.
That's a
so,
I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah. You're paying too much, my friend. That's gouging. The BMW X3 on BMWUSA.com, the electrified version, starts at $48,550.
That's not terrible for a BMW.
That's really not. As far as I know, they still qualify for $7,500, right?
They do.
And then you go to, either like Colorado or Oregon, and they give you even more money on top of that. So you make a profit, I think, buying this car.
The other good thing about a car that blends in, except for in this case that it's a BMW, is that nobody's going to single you out for it being an electric car and key you and all that other stuff. But it's a BMW, so you're still going to get keyed by those same jerks.
I do like the idea, and we've talked about this before. I honestly like the idea of an electrified vehicle blending in.
Mm-hmm.
This goes all the way back to the Gen 2 Prius that was just so Prius that everyone knew it was a Prius, and it's like, oh, look at me, I'm driving an electric car. And it seemed that every car after that had either it was the styling or the coloring or the big badge that said plug in or the whatever. We have to get past that point. And, we were saying, it's not everyone wants to drive, when they drive an electric vehicle, they don't want to scream electric vehicle. Some people want to drive an electric vehicle because it's financially responsible, because the maintenance is lower, the long-term cost of ownership is lower. but they're still big macho men and they don't want to be seen driving an electric car. So they want something that's going to blend in, and this would be a perfect car for that.
Yeah, and that's what I liked about the initial Model S was you couldn't tell it apart. It didn't look like the Volt. It didn't look like the Leaf, especially the first gen Leaf, where it screamed, "Hey, look at me, look at me!" I mean, it was just a
Exactly.
stately, like a Jaguar. It was looked nice, and it was regal. It was quiet and
Mhm.
did its thing. And I'm glad they got rid of the grill, but I mean, it still looks like that. It's just if you didn't already know what you were looking at, it's not. Other than the Roadsters and the Cybertruck, it's
So
not
do you
screaming,
think
"Look at me!"
this is going to
Mhm.
appeal to people that they want a stealth electric car?
Absolutely. But some
yeah.
people don't want the car. Again, those MAGA folks, not to pick on a group and paint with a broad brush, but I mean, they may want an electric car and want the advantages that it brings, but they don't want their neighbors to think they're one of those, tree
Tree
hugger
hugging dirty
guys.
hippie communists?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to put some other thing in there, but I decided that was not good judgment on my part. So, yeah, just it's not manly enough.
Hmm.
This just looks like a BMW.